Well, this is hilarious. Tucker Carlson is talking about his head writer, who turned out to be a sexist, racist bigot since his early years. And then he goes on to say that the views of the writer is not reflected upon uh, Fox News, and that Fox News does not endorse such uh, behavior. And then he goes on to call people ghouls who are in support of this guy being like removed and stuff for being a bigot. Like it's just like one giant circle. He claims to be about like, you know, equality and then goes on to use dog whistle words.
Over the weekend, you may have seen stories about a writer on this show called Blake Neff. For years, since he was in college, Blake posted anonymously on an internet message board for law school students. On Friday, many of those posts became public. Blake was horrified by the story and he was ashamed.
Oh, and yeah, and get that. It was a forum for law school students, which means all those people that are law school students and racist are going to become lawyers who are racist and thus have a bias in the judicial system to be against black people.
Friday afternoon, he resigned from his job. We want to say a couple of things about this. First, what Blake wrote anonymously was wrong. We don't endorse those words. They have no connection to the show. It is wrong to attack people for qualities they cannot control. In this country, we judge people for what they do, not for how they were born. We often say that.
Right. You don't judge people for the color of their skin, but what they do, which is hilarious coming from Fox News, which is something they do all the time, attack people for their skin or where they're born.
That because we mean it. We'll continue to defend that principle, often alone among national news programs, because it is essential. Nothing is more important. Blake fell short of that standard, and he has paid a very heavy price for it. But we should also point out to the ghouls now beating their chests in triumph at the destruction of a young man that
Ghouls beating their chest in triumph.
self-righteousness also has its costs. We are all human. When we pretend we are holy, we are lying. When we pose as blameless in order to hurt other people, we are committing the gravest sin of all, and we will.
Wow, he's doing a whole lot of projecting right here. When we pretend to act holy and pretend to be sinless to harm others, that's what Fox News does all the time. They pretend to be the self-righteous news program that is all about justice while they sit there and spew hatred about black people and other POCs and oppressed groups. It's just the mental gymnastics that they pull, all the wordplay and stuff, and their supporters believe all this. Their supporters believe that they are these patriotic, good old boys just out there protecting freedom while they're blatantly oppressing POCs.